this is about 3-star.
I love this watch now. The Citizen BNO0151. This is the 09L blue coloration of the Promaster Diver solar powered eco drive by Citizen. I love it now. Wasn't always the case. When I first got it last year, I liked it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever had a watch or a gear item like that you research, and then when you get it, you're like, oh, it's okay. And you don't dislike it, you don't want to sell it, you don't want to get rid of it, and you could do so very easily. I could do it with this watch. I've done it with a lot of others. Sell it, get my money out of it, or some of my money out of it at least. Buy something else. Instead, I hung on to it. And I put it into our testing phase here in the Nutnfancy project, which includes outdoor adventures, tactical shooting, outdoor activities, maritime operations, top water and below the surface scuba diving of late. That's when I really like the watch. Of course, it passed all tests perfectly. It is a true diving watch, proven by myself personally through scuba. Excellent. No, it's not my primary dive watch. I'll say it in every dive watch review just in case there's any misunderstanding. I don't use it for all the important stuff. I'll use a dive computer. Right now I'm running a Suunto D4i. It's on the other wrist. But for just second cool, for simple timing functions, I'll rock another, analog dive watch. I like that. You'll see footage of me diving with this BNO0151. And it just put a smile on my face. I don't know. It's just so divey looking, maritime looking. I really love this watch now. After testing it, it's weird. And now I'm kind of attached to it. I look forward to wearing it. I don't know if it's because I have memories attached to the watch now. Dive memories. I think that is an important thing, that you can get memories attached to your gear item. So choose wisely. And maybe you go out with your family, you go out with your friends, and you do a dive or something, and it's memorable. Every time you look at that watch, it brings back the memories. Memories. I don't know why I threw that in, but it's true. I love this watch now. And for the money, it's one of my favorite dive watches. Now here in TMP, I do gravitate towards value watches. It will probably always be that way because I think I can serve a larger audience with that. And also, that's kind of where my budget is. I can't go out, and I wouldn't go out and spend, I don't know, several $1,000s on a single watch. It's not going to happen. It just won't. Unless something radically changes, which I doubt it will. Especially with ad revenue the way it's doing. Ain't going to happen. Totally worth it. How do you like the looks? It does come in a classic black dive styling. That's B050-28 Echo. There's another one that has kind of like monster styling. It's BN0085-01 Echo. So there's some other Citizen divers. There's a lot of Citizen divers, but I'm kind of concentrating on this style that looks similar. You got a BN01, not on the table, I'll try to roll in a screenshot, 0191-55L. It has a stainless steel bracelet, and that's going to up the cost to about $300 or so. Another great looking diver by Citizen. I love the looks, actually. I really do. Now, when I first got it, here's one of the criticisms I had. I really like a large diver, okay? And so when I got this one, I was like, well, the actual face is smaller than I wanted. And I'm going to roll in a Momentum Torpedo 44 by way of representation. Okay, see how that's a larger face? This will get reviewed hopefully tonight in a separate bracketed WRV. I like it. When I go analog, I usually like a bigger watch. I usually do. I like the looks of it. This has a classic dive appearance, this Momentum. The link to all the ones I mentioned will be below. I recommend Amazon, of course. Love it. Good looking watch. But that's why I was a little bit lukewarm on the B&O, the Promaster Diver Eco Drive one. Love the look so far. So we talked about the variations. You can customize it by the band. removal. It's a 20 millimeter band, which is a little bit more narrow. That gives you a lot of options. You can throw a NATO strap on it, a silicone strap, a rubber dive strap. This has kind of a second cool, no decompression limits printed on the band. You wouldn't use those, of course, just use your dive computer, which everyone does. I don't think anyone dives with tables anymore. It's all computer. 3.2 ounces, 43 millimeters across. So the overall presentation is pretty large. It's just the actual face of the watch, a little bit smaller. Low sweat factor, nice gear transparency on this watch, meaning it wears very nicely. It's only 11 millimeters thick. On my wrist right now is a Seiko, and I'm going to take it off right now. Honestly, I can't remember if I've reviewed this one. I think I have. It was those Seiko I did, the SNE 107, I think. Yep, this is the P2. I did review this one. So I showed you the orange one and this one. And this is a great competitor against the EcoDrive because it also is solar powered. And it also is about the same size. And it also is excellent. Which between these two would I prefer since we're looking at them both? That's a hard decision. I don't know if I have an answer. They're both quartz. These are not auto winders. I don't know. Either one. They're cool. If I were to probably weigh in, I probably like the bezel design and look more of the Citizen than the 107 series. That's just me. Let's look at it on wrist. We're talking about bang factor. Do you bump into stuff? Is it sweaty? Is it obnoxious to wear? The answer is no, no, and no. First, the back. And I always sticker the back. I apologize. It helps me keep it straight. Guys have told me they like doing that too because they can see the model number on camera. Showing wear and tear. I mean, this thing's been in operation with us for months and months. Lots of diving and water stuff. Taken in the Zodiac multiple times out in the Pacific Ocean, Bay areas. Nice polished case back, screw down crown, case back I should say. And then you can see the 4 o'clock offset crown, which I really like, somewhat shrouded, and it's screw down in true dive fashion. Excellent. So, and I'm bringing that up now because when we put it on, a lot of guys like the 4 o'clock positioning of the crown because it doesn't dig into their wrist. I did wear this over a wetsuit too. I found the strap to be short for wetsuit. It's really not designed for that. But being a 20 millimeter dude, I could take it off quickly and just put something else on if I really wanted to. But I have so many watches in rotation, I don't have the time to do that. So I just made it fit. I started out with a 3 mil wetsuit in 57 degree water, freaking cold. I was shivering, and then I upgraded later on to a 7 and 9 mil in the chest area, and I was barely able to put this on, squeezing the neoprene, in case you're wondering. Looks pretty good on wrist though, right? And it looks larger than it is. I talked about the dimensions already. Strap retention on a single clasp stainless steel buckle is excellent because it includes 2 tight fitting keepers. Man, I like that. So many other watches don't do that, but this one does. And I like the navy, well, I don't know if it's navy, but it's kind of aqua marine blue band on the 09 Lima variation of the Promaster Diver. I just really like this coloration, the blue. I liked it to begin with, and again, like I said, I've just bonded to it over time. How about the second-hand presentation? Accuracy. I think it lines up pretty good. Very quiet watch. Love the orange minute hand outlined. Typical scuba type presentation that it has. Simple markers around it. And then we got a 120 click dive bezel. It's not color filled or ceramic. It's just printed on there. But remember the cost. I mean, and I don't think most guys will care. I do use my bezels frequently, actually, just for timing functions, simple timing functions. If I'm not going with like a dual or a full digital presentation, like my dive computer. Sometimes I use them. They're just so simple. You just crank them. You do have a Luminous index mark here on the Citizen Pro Diver. I like that. Deep dive face. Let's look at the lume. I really love this about it. And this is one of those things that kind of grew on me as I used it. Notice the coloration. It's an aquamarine color. Oh, isn't that cool? So it has a blue color and an aquamarine luminescence. And yes, there's a ton of watches that that have the same. Green index marker on the bezel right here. Lighted second hand. There are other dive watches in testing right now that don't have that feature. Just kind of a cool second cool thing to me. Really like it. Great luminescence for what it is. Turn this light back on. One criticism I'll have on the watch is it has just the date, the 9th today, and it's small. It's difficult to read, and it's inset too deeply. I wish they'd change that. Talked about the screw down crown already. 4 o'clock position. Durability, maintenance, accuracy. We already talked about bang factor. Eco drive, baby, all day long. Solar power all day long. That means it is going to be extremely low maintenance. It should run about 120 days with a full charge. That has been proven true in our testing, where we'll charge it and tuck it away in a bag, and it may not see daylight for a month. Then it comes out and it sees daylight, ocean light all the time. The solar cells right there in the face. I'm rolling in footage from Citizen talking about the Eco Drive technology. It's just so cool. So cool. Just is low maintenance. It's just a great technology. It makes me wonder why there aren't more divers using this. When I say divers, I'm talking dive watches. 200 meter water resistance. I didn't dive it that deeply. I don't think I ever will. I'll probably never take it back past 60 feet. And it should be totally good. In my diving, it was more shallow than that. But again, I've had other watches that were rated similarly and they failed. You'll see the tabletop review coming. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the field. You're supposed to be waterproof, water resistant. It ain't. Mineral crystal on this watch. Is that a big deal? Honestly, with me, it's not an issue whatsoever because I always put a crystal protector on it. You can see this one has it. And these are that shield polymer I buy off. I think that's what I put on this one. I forget. I buy it off Amazon. And so I just cut it and you can kind of see the layering of it, and that protects it from getting all scratched up. So it dove great to ND depths with me. Such a cool watch now. 5-year warranty on this one. Totally worth it. Other options, there's so many. I mean, if you're willing to spend about $170 on a dive watch, there's a lot of great options. I think I showed you that torpedo right here. This one's even less expensive. High quality, super accurate. Love that presentation. Also a 4 o'clock crown unscrewed right now for some reason. Great watch, the torpedo. $145 for that one. Momentum Torpedo 44. But it's not solar powered, so you're going to have a maintenance issue with this one versus the Citizen just keeps on trucking as long as you take care of the battery. There's also the Seiko SNE 391 P1. It's excellent. It's a solar diver as well. Where did that 107 go? Here it is. This is not the watch I'm talking about, but I'll just show it for presentation. It's also blue colored. It's a blue face, has a stainless steel bracelet. No screw down crown, and it is $140. That is the Seiko SNE as a competitive option, 391 Papa one. Also this SNE 107 previously reviewed, but man, do I love this watch. I'm bonded to it through adventure. Highly recommended. Nutnfancy.